Okay, good afternoon, board members and staff. Welcome to the specially called meeting. We'll start with approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, thank you very much. And we only have one item here tonight, Parkwood Middle School parking lot improvement bids. So I'll turn it over to Dave Burnett.
Yes, and this is a consent agenda item. The Facilities Committee has forwarded this to the Board of Education. I'm happy to go through any part of the project if you want. And certainly it's a project that has several moving parts. So if you have any questions, please ask away. If you would like me to give you an overview of the project, I'm happy to do that too.
And I guess the reason that we're on this meeting today is because we wanted to get this bid approved so we could get going on it while we still have time in the summer, correct, Mr. Burnett?
That is correct. Thank you.
I think a short overview would be nice, Dave.
Sure. I looked at the original scope and that was pre-2000, it was 2017 as far back as my records go. And the scope is actually consistent. I had written up the cover memo and interviewed folks here because the price certainly was much different, than the budget. But the original scope, as originally written, and that's been carried through to today, is that it says with the drive improvements. Which is circulation. That's the new drive that we're putting in around the existing parking lot. Staff and visitor parking can be addressed, and we're addressing that with a new bay of parking that is isolated from the circulation. So if you've looked at the attachments, the second sheet, which I believe is sheet C 2.0, yes. That will show you how the configuration has changed, and it shows you the middle bay of parking is not affected by stacking of parent traffic coming to pick up or drop off students. That allows those teachers, those visitors to come and go without getting stuck, in that queue and waiting for that drop off or pick up to finalize. The scope also said pave existing staff lot and add sidewalk. We're doing that. We actually are adding a sidewalk that has been added by NCDOT. It's a crosswalk that crosses Parkwood School Road. And that was really to help facilitate student traffic, pedestrian traffic from the middle school to the high school as some 8th grade students may be taking classes at the high school. So we're going to connect the sidewalk to that. It's going to be ADA accessible, and that wraps around, and that is also shown in that sheet C 2.0. It's at the very top of the page. The original scope also says additional handicap spaces and relocate dumpsters and site circulation issues. So we did address the dumpsters too. We did add to the scope, and that was where the school had noted a safety and security concern. That is where their Foursquare and basketball courts are located up right at Parkwood School Road. It's not a good location. Number one, for the students to access it, they're going around the parking lot, to get to, and I'm talking students in masks because I have seen them do this. As they access that, and it's probably during lunchtime they have a period where they're able to do that, and so we're relocating that, and it's going to be behind security fencing down south. If you're looking at the sheet, it's below the dumpsters, down behind, actually near the gym. So it's got good proximity for the school that they'd be able to go outside their gym in the gym corridor to access this without being in the public areas. So we're happy with that location, but that is a scope increase. So that's the scope. This project, again, like I said, was budgeted some time ago. It was $230,000 way back when, and that budget amount didn't change. It should have, but it didn't. It was $230,000. We have since done surveys, various due diligence, the design, cost of the design consultant. So we have what I mentioned in the memos, $179,800. Obviously, the project came in much higher than that. And we do, fortunately, have the funds to cover that. So in that same fiscal year CIP, which is CIP 1920, we have savings that will cover that. We needed to cover, I think it was $465,200. We have that. And that won't deplete that account. We still have additional savings in that account. So I've given you a lot of information. Let me know if there's any additional information you need. I'm happy to try to answer it for you.
Thank you, Mark, for that. And Dave, I'm sorry. And board members, I just want to let you know that I've asked Dave, he's going to put together, since we do have remaining projects in that category for 1920, he's going to put together a list of with the remaining savings, even after tonight's decision, and what projects are still remaining in that category. And he'll send that to us in the next couple of days.
Great. Okay, I move that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, are there any questions?
I just have one question that I came across. Was this just the lowest bid, or was this the lowest and the best bid?
So yes, we did bid the project June 1, I believe it was. We had 3 bidders. This was the low bid, and that was Hostetter and Son Construction, Inc. At $645,000. The price was competitive because the second low bidder was only $4,800 higher. So that's
And
a
the
very low
highest
margin.
bidder was 720,000.
Yeah, I saw that. I was just, low bid don't always mean best bids. I just wanted to make sure we were getting the best bang for the buck.
Right. Okay, are there any other questions or comments? We have a, I'm sorry.
Dave, have you worked with this contractor before?
We have not worked with this contractor before. We did check, and we are aware of some of the projects that they have done. They have worked for CMS, and the company has done some large projects. They also were part of a, I guess I don't want to say joint venture, but the company name has changed over the years. And so, but it's the same company, but there's been a little bit of an evolution over time.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. So all those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
And all those opposed? Hearing none, this motion passes 8-0. Mr. Morial could not be with us tonight. So everyone's present and has voted to approve. Okay, so that was our only item for tonight. So if there are no other questions about Parkwood Middle School, I will accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second, and everyone have a great.
Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.